Hi friends, it's Granny Doll. Have you ever wondered about the sustainability of living a 100-mile life? I'm just going to be editing a new video where I kind of break it down for you to show you that it really is sustainable. So if you're interested, stay tuned and keep knitting, keep creating, and keep feeling the blessings that are around you. Bless someone else. For now, bye. Have you ever wondered, can we truly live sustainably by staying close to home? Not perfectly, not completely, but intentionally. So today I want to talk to you about the 100-mile life and whether it's actually sustainable, not just for the planet, but for each one of us. Hi, I'm Granny Doll from Doll Can Create. I know you can too. And we've been talking from time to time about this 100-mile life. So think small circles, deep roots. Is it sustainable? Let's share together. You know, for me, this story began pretty quietly. It started with wool. And it started with food. It started with knitting socks. And yes, I know I can buy socks cheaper at the store than I can make them. But so I had to start asking some questions, didn't I? The desire also grew because I wanted to live closer to where my feet actually are. That's an interesting statement, but it's a true statement. And slowly my world began to shrink, but in many and beautiful ways. Small circles, deep roots. That's where it was. So let's first talk about environmental sustainability. It's obvious, right? Thinking about living locally, 100 miles, 121 kilometers, any way you want to look at it. I'm in Canada, it should be kilometers, but anyway, 100-mile. When we choose local, our food travels less. That's the obvious part, right? Packaging is often reduced. We can go to the local market and pick up one of these and two of these, and we don't have to put them in little bags, or we bring our own little bags to put them in, or there's not the shrink wrap around everything. So package is often reduced, which is a good thing. And we begin to live more in tune, I believe, with the seasons. Right now, I can get strawberries fairly inexpensively, but they're not local, obviously. I live in northern North America, right? I'm in southwestern Ontario, southern Ontario. But you know, the strawberries come when they come. The fruit comes when it comes. The wool I get is tied to the season for when they're sheared, oftentimes. And what happens is there's a shift in us expecting something all the time, right? It's not possible. I mean, it is possible for us to get something just like that. You get online and you can order it and then it's there within a day, even the same day. Is that sustainable? But getting something that was grown in the backyard or grown down the road or even in a greenhouse down the road that's new and it's alive and it's fresh, that means something different, doesn't it? I think so. And there's something deeply grounded in that. So friends, let's take a second and just look at the economic sustainability, because we're all going through really tough economic things right now. Gas is up, produce is up, all of our groceries are up. If you can get everything that you once were able to get, the supply chains have slowed down once again. But sustainability isn't just about the earth, is it? It's also about the people. Every time we spend money, we're making choices. When we buy local, we support our farmers, our artisans. So, I didn't put my earrings in today. I bought these beautiful earrings from a local artisan, a creator. When you buy local, you're supporting small businesses, you're supporting your neighbors, which is also really important. And the money stays close to home where it can circulate. It strengthens the very place we live in. And when you do that, it definitely feels different. We're more connected with one another, maybe. It's being more responsible, even a little bit more real. Now, I am checking my notes here just in case you're wondering. I did prepare for this. This is not just a random chat, so excuse me if I look down once in a while. But there's also something personal, a personal sustainability, and this is really what has surprised me the most. The 100-mile life isn't about sustainable for the planet, but it's also sustainable for your heart, for your soul. Life slows down, meals become simpler, choices become clearer, there's less noise. And I think we all could use that. A little bit more peace in our lives, don't you think? Things get so scattered and so cluttered. But in that quiet time, I'm finding peace. And that's important. For all of us, I'm knitting with local wool, cooking with local food, eventually lighting a candle that's made nearby, using soap that's created by someone nearby. These aren't just activities, they're anchors. And I think we all need anchors right now, don't we? Something to hold on to. So, friends, let's just get into some real talk here right now. Let's keep it honest. A 100-mile life is not perfect. It just can't be. Every season makes it one way or another, and it's not always easy. Not every budget allows for it all the time. And I want to emphasize that because so many of us are working with fairly tight budgets. We have savings goals. We want to pay down debt. We have limited resources to use. So we can't go and buy the natural, organic something from down the road all the time. It's just not economically feasible. But if we work within that budget and plan our meals ahead of time, we can make some of those choices. And the choices that are not local to us, the choices that are harder for us, maybe we pray more, don't we? It's not about doing everything. It really isn't. But it is about doing something. Maybe change one habit. Insert one thing into your meal plan that wasn't there before. Find out how many hundreds of ways, if there are hundreds of ways, can you use a cabbage? Because cabbage is local right now. In most places it'll be local because it's stored over winter. Well, how can you make it so it's not just edible, but delicious? That's just one example, right? So we have potatoes, carrots, squash, cabbage, garlic. We have all these things that over winter, parsnips, that do really well. So maybe we need to look at some of those, make some decisions, but doing one small thing. So maybe take that cabbage and make one new dish this weekend. take the carrots that are starting to shrivel and get them all scraped up and maybe chopped up, cooked for a soup or a stew, but do something with it. I had wanted to go to a fibre festival on Sunday, but by the time Sunday afternoon rolls around, I'm usually pretty wiped. Thinking about spoon theory, I had no spoons left, like I was done. So, and I didn't need any fibre. That's the other thing. We spend our money on our wants more often than our needs, right? So if we're only spending on what we need, then maybe that little extra for something that we want, we can shift and buy that organic piece or that locally grown something that isn't labeled organic, because sometimes that's too the same thing, but do something, right? It's about the direction we're going in, and it's not about perfection. So let's think about that for a minute. So this is Granny Doll, Pastor Barb, whatever you want to call me these days. And I find myself in a different kind of spiritual practice where I'm asking, who grew this? Who made this? And how can I honor it? So on day 26 of my 30-day 100-mile life plan, the question was about investing in local business. And so Nick and I, Denali Guide, we sat today and we looked at a couple of Canadian-owned businesses that are local, or at least their headquarters are local, that do good things in Canada. The dairy industry for us is close to home. We do get our milk delivered from Summit Dairy. Absolutely wonderful. I highly encourage you, if you're in the Hamilton, Dundas, Stony Creek area, please have a look into them. Their milk and their cream have been just right on. So, but looking bigger corporate, I was looking at Saputo and Maple Leaf Foods, and then looking at where we dine out. So the Canadian franchises, right? The Swiss Chalet, Harvey's, Montana's. So if you're in this part of Canada, you'll recognize those names. We do frequent Tim Hortons and Starbucks and McDonald's, and yes, they employ Canadian employees, and they are local. I mean, I could walk to Tim Hortons if I wasn't so lazy. But, you know, the money, does it stay in Canada? Does it stay in the community? So you have to look at how you spend those dollars and what's important to you, right? Maple Leaf Foods, Saputo, dairy, cheese. Shaw's ice cream is 100 Mile for us, and it's my favorite brand. Armstrong cheese is really good. There's a lot of different things that we look at, and we don't think about where we're getting them, where they're coming from, how many miles they've been on the truck, that kind of thing. So this becomes a way of life, a way of living with gratitude. I get bananas. Obviously, bananas are not local, but bananas are good for our dietary needs. So I buy bananas. Instead of buying juices, I bought apple cider made at Bennett's down the road. I buy local honey when I buy honey. There's just these little tiny things that make you want to, invest locally. I do invest in, local fiber, because I'm a fiber artist and I want to know where my wool came from. So I'm working with this beautiful sock yarn. This is all hand dyed with food coloring, except for the top here, that's commercial yarn. But the yarn itself is commercial yarn. And I've been thinking about that for a while, and I struggle with it a little bit. It's a wonderful sock yarn, I must say. The bases are absolutely wonderful, and they take dye really well. But where did it come from? Well, possibly New Zealand, Australia, not from Canadian merino sheep. It's shipped by boat to the West Coast. It is shipped by air or freight to get to Toronto or Mississauga, and then shipped to me. So there's a large supply chain there. And I do have some really great yarns that I purchased that came from Great Britain. They're just wonderful sock yarns. But I'm really starting to think differently. And spinning my own sock yarn does take time. That's just what it is. But I'm investing in local sheep and in the shepherd or shepherdess that have tended them. I'm paying attention. I'm living with gratitude for the things that I handle, for the things that I create for the table. And it's about a life where I'm paying attention. I'm waking up to what's already around me. Right? So this, hand knit by me, it's a Sophie scarf. Most people know what a Sophie scarf is if you're into fiber arts and knitting. But and it was a commercial yarn, so this wasn't hand spun, but it added some color today. So let's think about this for a minute. There's an invitation I want to just place out there gently for you. If you're curious about this way of living, and what I will say is don't try to change everything all at once, because that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just begin slowly. So maybe this week try one local meal, one local product, make one local connection to the shopkeepers, and see if anything shifts for you. It's kind of an interesting way to think about things, but it's also slowing down, because everything in life seems to be do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and you have to go so fast. And is that really living, or is that just sustaining the status quo? And how do we break the cycle of the status quo? That's the real question, isn't it? So I am finishing up my first 30 days in the program of Living a 100-Mile Life. And once I've analyzed all of that, I'll be putting it together to share with anyone who's interested. Let me know if you are interested in seeing it. I am hoping to produce it as an e-product, an online course, if you will, that spans over 30 days with a planner for each day and different items to work on each day, but one at a time, and simple, 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 simple. And hopefully I'll be able to meet with a few of you who live close to me in Hamilton. Like I said, Dundas, Burlington, Ancaster, anywhere within 100 miles, actually, if we want to meet together and really look at what that local life can be. And I would really love to meet with you and just have some conversations about all of that. So for now, dear friends, remember, start small. It is sustainable. It's like habit stacking. We're all talking about different habits and trying to create a new habit and breaking old habits, but stacking a habit on top of a habit. And if we do that just one tiny piece at a time, we'll find that it is sustainable and it is not so difficult. So start with one choice, one meal, one skein of yarn. Even find someone who has created hand-spun yarn, or one of the local mills that, and because there are, I mean, Rampart Farms, where I got my fiber, also has the spin there. They sell yarn. There's different ones around the area that spin their own and sell it. So it is possible to get that locally connected skein of yarn. But remember, we're looking at small circles, 100 mile, 120 kilometers, whatever you want to call it. But we're also wanting to make the roots deep. So find the blessing in living that 100-mile life if you can. But just do it a little bit at a time. I encourage you. If you like this kind of video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's get this movement going further. So deep roots, small circles, 100-mile living. And I based the whole idea on a book that was out, I believe, in the 80s or 90s called The 100-Mile Diet. So I haven't really stolen from them, but I was encouraged when I read that book. And I think you can still get it used. I'll see if I can't find a link for that. But we can do this. It's hard in the winter. It's definitely more difficult, but not impossible. We just have to do a little bit of shift every once in a while. But for now, this is Granny Doll living the 100-mile life, creating each and every day, knowing that you can be the creative person too. So for now, God bless. Till next video. Bye for now.